Pick up the story of the development of the Jewish people with Jacob right after he gets married. He gets married to 4 women. He has Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, and Zilpah. Now, Leah, one of the wives, is very sad. She's feeling unloved, and God recognizes this and therefore begins to bless her by opening her womb, and she has lots of children. She first has Reuven, then she has Shimon, then she has Levi, and after she has the 3rd child, the Torah tells us, she conceived again and bore a son and declared, "This time let me gratefully praise God." Therefore she called his name Judah, and then she stopped giving birth. So Leah has a 4th child, and now she's really grateful and really happy. What about the first 3 children? The reason God made her pregnant at the beginning was because she was feeling unloved and sad. What was the difference in her happiness level when she had the first 3 children and the 4th son? We have a tradition that our forefathers, through prophecy, knew there would be 12 tribes. That would mean that with there's 4 wives, each wife's portion would be 3 sons. When all of a sudden Leah has the 4th son, she says, "Oh my goodness, my portion is greater than everyone else's. I've gotten something that was not coming to me. I got something that I did not deserve." And that's the first key of happiness. And this is a fantastic insight into living a joyful life. When we feel that we are blessed with a greater portion than we should have gotten, or perhaps that was coming to us, we feel overwhelmed with blessing and we are feeling grateful. This is why she calls her 4th son Judah. In Hebrew, the word is Yehuda, and that is related to another Hebrew word, Todah, which means thankful. So that every time she would see her son, she would be reminded, my goodness, my portion is greater than that of the other wives. Interesting enough that Jews are called Yehudim, or a Yehudi. It's the same word, because to a large degree, the essence of being Jewish is the ability to rise above the normal everyday difficulties and be grateful to the Almighty for such a fantastic portion that we Jews have in this world and, God willing, in the next world as well. So point number 1 is that if you feel that God has overblessed you, feel grateful, be happy, and be thankful. Point number 2 is, the reality is none of us have anything coming to us in this world, and all of our portions are greater than what we have earned or what we deserve, so to speak. So we should always feel extremely grateful and extremely happy, no matter what's going on in our lives. And the third point is that when we do feel grateful, we should do something to put it in our lives so we don't forget about it. So just like Leah named her child Yehuda, so that with every interaction she would feel grateful, even when he needed his diaper changed or he was complaining or something bad happened at school, she would feel grateful that this is my son, so too we can do the same thing. On a personal level, whenever I go skiing, I buy myself a shot glass from the place I went skiing. Why? So that on Friday night, Shabbos, when I'm holding up that scotch, I can look at the shot glass and I can remember how blessed I am that I had the experience to go to a particular location to go skiing. Talmud tells us, Ezehu Asher Asamech Bechalko. Who is wealthy? One who rejoices in his portion. We have to make sure to always recognize our portion and always rejoice in it. I want to conclude with one final story. A friend of mine calls me up and he says, "Rabbi, listen, you know I work in a commission-based business. If I don't make the sale, I don't get paid." And I took a project pretty much knowing that I'd have to invest many, many hours into it, and I knew it would not fall through. But I took it anyway, I did my work, and after many hours, I got the word the sale was not going to go through, and I wasn't getting any money for the effort I expended. Picked up, I went to the gym, I was feeling kind of down, and then when I was in the locker room, I saw a man walking around in a towel with one leg. When I looked at him, I realized he was an amputee. He only had one leg, and Rabbi, I'm telling you, at that moment, I felt like I'm a millionaire. Every time I go back to that moment in that locker room, I feel incredibly blessed. We have to take a strong lesson from our foremother, Leah. She was an individual who, because she understood that her portion was so great and she was filled with gratitude, we actually bless our daughters every Shabbos that they should grow up and be just like her. By doing so, our daughters and ourselves should live very grateful, happy, and joyous lives. I'm Rabbi Yehudi of the Young Israel Aish of Las Vegas.